YouTube, Ronan Kazi, Destiny 2, Lost Sector action. So, I'm going to talk about death today. I'm going to tell you my quick story. I think I mentioned to you before. I was 18 years old. It's my first day of college. It was a Tuesday, Central Michigan University. And had two classes in the morning, geography and I think sociology. I went back to my dorm room to call my dad. I wasn't real thrilled about going to college, so we had kind of fought about it, and I was calling him to tell him that I thought college was great, and it was awesome. And when I called the vice president of the company that he worked at, answered the phone and basically said something to the effect of, "Oh my God, didn't anyone tell you?" And this guy was a joker a lot, so I thought he was just joking with me, but it ended up doing that. He was dead, and then from there on, it's the same experience we all have when you have a loved one that dies unexpectedly. And one of the things you just take for granted in video games is death in video games. So in some of these games, the Division 2 has mode, Diablo has modes, Destiny 2 for sure has these modes where, in this example, we only have a certain amount of revives. And it's interesting to see the gameplay that you have with the amount of revives you have, because invariably you're going to use them up and maybe you shouldn't. And so that kind of goes to the mode where it's called hardcore mode in a lot of different games, where if you die, that's it, and you lose your character. Fortunately, in a lot of these games, it's not. You can revive yourself. Sloth's a fellow YouTuber. We're clanmates here in Destiny 2. I'd consider him a friend. And we're doing lost sectors for materials. And when we first started, I had to lean on him quite a bit because I wasn't that good and my gear score was horrible. And I'm average now. I'm not a great player. I'm average. Sometimes I get lost and I don't know what we're doing and. But some of the gameplay skills I have from other games kind of translates over. But death is inevitable for all of us, regardless of how you feel about your afterlife, whether you're going to be born again, whether you're going to stop being born again, whether it's just going to cease, whether it's going to go to a different plane, you're going to continue on, whatever it is. And I think, this mortal coil, we shed this at a certain point. Part of things in my job on the outside, I have to talk about this a lot to people, and it's very hard for me to talk to them about it. In one sense, I'm probably callous and cavalier to it. Both my parents at this point in my life have passed away, but when I was 18, my father did, so I was probably lacked sympathy. I could feel empathy. I knew what it felt like to lose a parent, but I didn't disdain people, just that happened to me when I was 18, and my mortality was put in front of me right away. This is a grim topic for a Sunday, but if you like this kind of stuff, please like, subscribe, share, resubscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, get notifications. And so, on top of this, the little bit of the death topic, and we keep rezzing ourselves, is Sloth and I in Ultimate Shield are playing Witch Queen Spire. And so we have a lot of conversations. At this point, we're comfortable enough with each other, at least I think Sloth is, where he's going to say what he feels that we should do better, and I always am going to say my opinion. I don't ever not say my opinion. Sometimes I'll wait, and everyone in the group tries to do it very subtly. Maybe we should try this, and they use very inclusive language, and it's great. Look at me. See, that's a fail on my part. And so that's one of these things when you, whether you want to admit it or not, for a lot of different reasons, you'll use this language where you try to accommodate people you care about or relationships that are beneficial for you or what have you. And we were three strangers that met on YouTube, and kind of the miracle of this modern age that we're all in different places. We normally would never have been friends at all because we didn't have that, God dang it, we didn't have the geographic, closeness, proximity to make us friends. We have the same kind of interests that were unified in one game, that kind of came together in one game, and now we've kind of morphed into a second game. And so husbanding these types of relationships, managing these types of relationships, managing the relationships you have with your family, your loved ones, your romantic loved ones, your familiar things is important. And you just, the thing that my situation made clear to me is that life is very fragile, and in a second it can change. And imagine for any of you, when you're young and you lose a parent, it is a significant change in your life. And so from that moment on, I tried to live. It's not impossible. I think it's impossible. I can't live every moment of my life in the moment. Oh, crap. So I'm like, oh, great. I'll just, Sloth went down. I'll just go rezz him. But YouTube, unfortunately, look how many rezzes we have left. 0. This is normally when I say like, subscribe, share, unsubscribe, subscribe, because I'm not going to be able to carry us through to the end. And we've been having a good discussion about what we should be doing, so I don't know if I'm going to make it. But trying to live every day, that's Roxy. She had a haircut. I'm going to put that out on the short. Trying to live every day like it's your last day is good. Trying to recognize the people that you care about all the time, not in just a superfluous way, not in a way that's, matter of fact, but to be there for people is important. And so in a blink of an eye, all of these kind of things can change. And so what you want to maybe consider is in your relationships, what's your rule, how you do your relationships. I know in some relationships where I don't really care about the people, if something changed, I would be sad in a bigger macro level, but on a level that affects me, probably not so much. But however you define your circle of friends, your circle of family, your whatever it is to describe that, how do you relate to those people? Did you say something to them today to tell them that you appreciate them? You don't have to do it every day. That's like a survivor's guilt kind of thing. But I have advised people in the past, if they know someone has a terminal disease, try to call them and talk to them as much as you can, because when they're gone, they're gone. And no matter how many times you call them, you're going to feel a little bit of remorse that you didn't call them enough. And in the case of my situation, like my dad, I had called them maybe the Sunday before. I didn't talk to him Monday, and then Tuesday when I tried to call him and tell him that, thank you, college is great, he was gone. But the last time I talked to him, I told him I loved him. And to tell you how fragile all this is, my sister didn't really talk to him like that and just assumed he'd be there. And when he died, it just, oh gosh, I don't want to die here. When he died, it left a big hole in her because she was always missing that last conversation. And you don't always get to finish things how you want. So, a couple of things. You do with it what you want, but consider living every life, every day like it's your last. It's hard to do, but it helps you appreciate things. Some things are not that important. Conversely, some things are very important. So if you only had one day left, I'm trying to switch, but you can't switch because I don't have a scout rifle because I'm incompetent. I go to turn it on, but I hit the wrong button. You see I hit F instead of E. I'm a dunce. So YouTube, that's number one. Appreciate the people. Let them know that you care about them. And, ooh, down goes Ronan. But I'll talk to you again. Thank you, YouTube. Have a good day.